Really, motorcycle rider? I'm not impressed.
Great.
Hey guys, it's your girl Alicia, aka Geek XX Chic, and I'm back finally with a reaction to The Flash. This one is behind, but you know, a girl had to get a little weekend getaway in. You know how it goes sometimes. A girl just gotta get some R&R, and so unfortunately I did not get any editing done during that time, so sorry about that guys, but I'm back and we're getting into it. So this episode is called The Girl with the Red Lightning. So last episode was annoying to say the least. I think it's the most I've ranted about an episode probably ever of The Flash. I just really wasn't a fan of the story writing. I didn't like the way things were being written around Nora, around the people who are in Nora's life, and yeah, I vented all about that last week, so I'm not going to get back into it for this one, but I'm hoping that we're doing all of this for some kind of a reason since there are only 2 episodes left in the season. We're on to this episode, and yeah, I really don't know what to expect with this. I'm assuming we're going to address more of Nora going into the negative Speed Force. I can't think it's going to have a good outcome. I can't think this is something that's going to be isolated just to her using it to come back in time, but we weren't going to know until we watched the episode. So without further ado, let's jump into it and we'll chat about it later. Okay, let's go. Why is he holding his jacket the way that Cobra Kai Sensei used to?
I'm gonna taste what's to come.
Really, sir? You're gonna torture a dying man? Now we know something's gonna go wrong. Whenever they're cocky like this, something always goes wrong. You've also given him 15 years to plan how to escape this.
We need to stop this plague from spreading.
I thought we were done with him. Why? God, who did he sleep with to get this contract?
Caitlin, how fast can you make more? Guess we'll find out. Okay, good.
Yeah, because it's not like you have 2 speedsters that could probably do it faster.
You might want to step back.
Like, how many times do they have to tell them this?
Such a small space, but what's life if you don't pull down your shorts and slide on the ice every once in a while? Here we go.
What?
There's a whole bunch of citizens who could have been saved that will die on our watch. I'm not having that.
That's right. He ain't having that.
You're in charge.
Chief Joe West. I like the sound of it. It has a ring. Oh God, why is this woman still even a factor? Sherlock gonna die. That's what's going down right now, isn't it?
Run!
What?
Okay, don't you have something to do though, Cicada? Like, why are you just chasing this one meta down?
So I jitters, I saw you open the door without touching it. I know you have powers. What are they?
Woo! She's like, I don't need them. I'm my own superhero. Save yourself, girl. Save yourself.
I see you too.
I was wondering if that was a 2-way connection. That makes sense.
She tried to kill me, Sherlock.
Because of what you are. A magna kinetic
That gesture was great.
We just got this stuff out of you. We're not risking exposing you to that again. Mom, I want to do this.
We'll find another way. We'll find another way.
The fact that we have to keep convincing this child of simple sense things,
Why would he send Nora back to create a new cicada only for a newer cicada to appear who's harder to stop than the one Nora created?
Ralph, can we get away from Thawne's plan and try to stick to her?
No, we really shouldn't. Thank you, Ralph, for speaking sense.
I'll go get it before Grace can.
Right behind you.
I think you should sit this one out.
She will see you coming.
What?
2-way street, Nora.
Your connection with Grace puts you in too much danger. I mean, we don't... I think I got something.
Hi, you're a speedster. Why are you going at normal speed right now? Go, Barry, go.
You might be right. But right now, there won't be any future for any metas if we don't get rid of that dagger. Now, this is our last chance. We have to figure out how to find Grace.
Okay, yeah, let's not focus on Thawne at all.
We lose everyone.
He's trying not to die.
It's our job to protect her from harm.
This 26-year-old girl is the same age as her mama right now, but okay. Really? You didn't see that, Barry?
And this would be permanent?
Oh, it's permanent, yes. But better than cicada permanently killing you, am I right, Detective?
Oh my god, okay. Under duress.
First, you know that. Sir, what should we do that day?
Detective, you got one swat.
No, leave Joe alone right now. Joe, you're gonna have to dad these folks. You need to dad them. Oh, thanks. Just destroy Star Labs while you're at it, Nora. Great. I'm so glad that you use your mind for these things. Barry, you can't go in there. Just throw something in her head. What is this nonsense? Catherine Zeta-Jones back in the day. If you're not tamper behind, check.
Right now, she is putting her pieces together, and when that is done, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are going to die. I can't stand around.
If we don't die in here first from you being stupid.
Yes, you can, because that's what we're telling you to do.
She's grown. You see, even her parents don't even look at her as an adult.
How many times has Barry, Iris, Nora, even Ralph Dibney come to you, specifically come to you, to get answers to their problems?
More times than I can count.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's like dad stuff. That's not like running a police station
That when they
stuff.
come to you, they're gonna get an honest answer straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart.
I don't want to change who I am. I don't want to give in to fear just because there's danger involved, you know? I want to live my life
Fight back, girl.
on my terms.
That's right.
I will come find you.
Finds out she goes to his Earth, there's like a warrant for her arrest or something. She'll be like, Sherlock! Like, doesn't she have like a job she needs to call into or family she should notify? But alright. Would you close that thing before a dagger goes flying through it, please?
You're a daughter, but you're not a kid.
Oh, you're serious.
You really think you can control your connection?
No, no, there's nothing that she has done that has given us faith that that is possible.
Guys, let's go catch our big bad.
Why is she wearing leather all of a sudden? I don't get it.
Hold on to your butts.
I love that line.
Guys, she's waking up.
All right, figure out a way to stop it.
Because y'all gotta do anything with her, like cuff her. Meta cuffs will work on her. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Oh, I don't need a dagger to kill you.
Yep.
I never had it before I came to this time.
Right? Like, how do I remember this? And they don't. Exactly. She didn't have the dagger. This is why I said I don't understand why they want to use the gun on the dagger. You all deserve all this ass whooping. You deserve all of it. Really, a direct strike, Caitlin? You thought that was gonna work at this point? Thank you, Barry, for coming to the party.
The dagger is Thorn's plan. Don't shoot it!
Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, guys, that was the latest episode of The Flash called The Girl with the Red Lightning. Better than last week. On some notes, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad we at least have, like, it's frustrating to me that Cicada, as they've started to call her in the show now, had more of an arc and plan that made sense in the, she's been on the show for 6 weeks now? 6-8 weeks. She had more of that in that time than we had with original Cicada from the beginning of the season until now. Like, that is such an, and I get it. Now they're trying to say it's because Thawne had this big grandiose plan, and fine, I'm willing to buy that because Thawne is extraordinarily smart, but I'm just like, there's a lot of holes, I guess, that are really starting to become glaringly obvious now that we're trying to rush everything into the back end of the season. And it just kind of, it just makes me roll my eyes a bit at some of the things that are happening. Like right there at the end, for example, when they're like, oh, we got the dagger away, so now we can beat you. Like, no, did y'all forget that she didn't get the dagger until she got Orlin? Like, she was kicking your butt with her powers. That had nothing to do with it. So how did they suddenly forget that in this episode? How did they not put medicuffs on her when they knocked her out? Like, that's 101. That is 101. How do they not think to dampen her or try to restrain her in any way? No, we'll just leave her while she's knocked out because we just can't possibly do anything to her. Like, what? Oh my gosh, it was like, what? And then the show constantly forgetting that Barry outran a bomb. Okay? Barry ran so fast. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Barry ran so fast that he literally stopped the world from spinning. That's how fast this man ran. Yes, I know that Supergirl helped him, but you get my point. My mans can do that, but he can't outrun Grace, who does not have super speed. Tell me how this keeps happening. I don't, especially when there was no dagger. Her powers don't seem to actually negate everyone else's powers. They work like some weird electromagnetic lassos. And obviously she's got some combat skills, something that Barry still doesn't have after 5 seasons, but I digress. How do we not have a plan for how we're gonna deal with her? How 5 seasons in is Team Flash still not thinking, hey, we should probably think about how we should really be able to deal with this villain? Like, really thoroughly think about how we're gonna go in and deal with them. Like, how are we still going in willy-nilly and haphazardly? Like, I'd love to yell at Nora for this episode, but honestly, she's going about plans pretty much the same way Team Flash has been for this whole season. Like, I can't even blame her. Now, I thought from earlier in the season that the Neuralink thing would probably work out to be the thing that was going to be very key in taking her down, but mixing it with the negative Speed Force stuff, and again, Nora just being so like, okay, fine, I understand when she did it in the beginning. The first time she did it, she didn't realize that it was gonna cause negative Speed Force sparkage everywhere and give her an aneurysm. But after you hear that, wouldn't the smart answer then be, let's see if we can find another way first. Let's just put our heads together and see if there's a way that we can somehow do this that's not gonna, I don't know, completely destroy Star Labs and get me killed at the same time. How about that? These are smart people. Okay, we've got people on Team Flash. We've got Barry, who, at least in the comics, is an extraordinarily smart scientist. We've got Cisco, who has built all kinds of devices and things that are far beyond the normal person's and scientist's abilities. We've got Caitlin, who's supposed to be the best biochemist in the world. How can we not come up with a battle strategy at this point against one girl? And I don't say girl as in a diminutive because I know that girls are powerful as. I'm just saying it's one person. And it was the same with Orlin. Like, it just felt very glaringly obvious in this episode, which was really, really bothersome. I really enjoyed Ralph's stuff, however. Ralph actually being the detective that he came in as in season 4, pardon me, really liked seeing him doing his job as a detective and not leaving everything to Sherlock, and realizing that no, like, there's no way that Thawne has just done this. Like, he's not benevolent. And I've said this, right? I've said this in multiple reviews. Thawne is not the benevolent kind. He never has been. So, of course, he has a plan. He's not just doing this out of caring for Nora. No, he might. He might have some shred of affection towards her because, you know, she's gullible enough that, you know, you kind of the way you can't really dislike a puppy. You know what I mean? But Thawne was not going to quietly go into the night. That's not Thawne. Right? No, of course not. He's going to have a plan. And of course he's using Nora for it. And the fact that, like, again, that they didn't take the time to look at this because they're just going to take Nora's temper tantrum from last week and be like, oh, well, since you said Thawne must have changed, we have to believe you. Like, no. I'm so glad that Ralph brought out the fact that Nora came back exactly when she did, which is what Sherlock actually mentioned when he first started to suspect Nora. He's like, there's a purpose behind this. This was not random. Why of all times did Reverse Flash tell her to go back at that precise moment? Or to make an impact, I should say, at that precise moment. Because she went earlier, right? She went to the wedding. And now we finally have that answer on episode 21, which is way too late for my personal opinion. But it's just, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm glad at least Ralph did that. He sounded the most, honestly, coherent and sensible this entire episode. But I did like some of the other sides. So honestly, the main storyline was probably the part that I was not as impressed by. But I really, really liked Joe having his little identity crisis around running the precinct. I'm hoping this is a little bit of a wink and a nod that he's going to be promoted to chief. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if the actor who plays Singh is thinking of leaving the show after this season. I wouldn't blame him if that's the case, honestly, because he really is very much a recurring cast member. But yeah, I kind of like seeing that Joe, even though he's someone who clearly is capable and smart and a leader in a lot of ways, he didn't really have faith in himself to do that job automatically. He was very much like, oh my gosh, like I've never dealt with all the little ins and outs of being a chief, which is fair. As a detective, he wouldn't have to deal with the logistics and the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But I like that he had that moment, and of course Cecile got to be there for him and be like, no, like, you do know it, you do have this. Don't try to do it like Singh. You got to do it the way you would do it, because, you know, you work and you're a good role model because of these reasons, and that's because of you as Joe. Like, don't try to do it the way someone else would. So I really liked that whole moment and that kind of side story. And like I said, I do hope it's foreshadowing in that Joe might be promoted to chief and, you know, get a little step up in his life. He definitely deserves it. Other than that, I didn't really care much about the whole thing with Sherlock's girlfriend. I don't know why we had to go through all that. I don't think anything's changed, in my opinion, around the idea that we're not going to continue to have this Nora going forward. I think they've made it very clear in this episode that the Dark Force Dimension is, what am I saying? Wrong show. I think they've made it very clear that the negative Speed Force is very much in her now. I don't think it's something you can just purge. Like, I don't think it's a one and done. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's something she couldn't eventually get rid of, but I think it's more deeply rooted than even she knows. And I think that was also part of Thawne's plan, not only to get his release from prison and to stop his execution, of course, but also to, again, like I said, there's no way that I believe that Thawne is not doing this to do one more last screw you to Barry, because that's just the kind of man that Thawne is. So I feel like this version of Nora is tainted. Like, I don't think she'll ever be okay. I don't know. I just feel like there's more and more pieces being shown that kind of lead to the fact that Nora doesn't belong here. And anyway, we'll have to see if that happens. Overall, like I said, the episode was definitely better than last week. And if you like this video, guys, please click like. And if you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya.